Hi there, welcome to my channel. I'm Trisha. Today I wanted to share with you these blue Christmas trees that are super easy for beginners. Even if you have never used watercolor paint before, you can do this. Not only the painting process is so easy, but there is not much drawing going on in here. Well, except for drawing these very easy triangles, or actually, I should say cones. And I am just going to use one color, which is the cerulean blue. I am also going to use some metallic colors as well. And I'm going to leave a list of all the art supplies I used here today. But if you have any questions about these art supplies, please let me know in the comments. So, to start off this painting, I just sketched these little cones and then I applied plain water. My brush did not have any pigment at this point, just water. And then, before the water dries, you can apply the pigment or paint, however you want to call. When you do that, the pigment just runs where the water is. And don't worry, the pigment is not going to go all over the paper because somehow the water stops where the pencil lines are. I don't know how that happens, but it does, and it makes this process super fun. So, as a quick recap, first do your pencil lines, then add plain water inside those pencil lines, and then add the pigment or the paint. So you can see the paint is going to make its way in the water, which is super fun. It's kind of like if the pigment has a mind of its own and it runs wherever the water lets it. That's because the star of the show is the water. Yep, that's right. The star of the show is not the painting, not the paper, not the drawing, or the subject. And I hate to tell you this, but it's not even us, the artists. The star of the show in watercolor is always the water. So, anyway, there are many ways to use watercolor paint. There are many techniques, but this one is one of my favorites, or my favorite one, because it's so enjoyable to see the pigment um, make making its own path throughout the water. It really makes the process super enjoyable, and it is because it creates something unexpected all the time. It's always unique. You're never gonna get two watercolor paintings look the same. You always get a new experience, even in the same art project. So, anyway, I hope you get to try this little blue Christmas trees. It's so easy, and I think that even if you have never held a brush before, you can still do this and feel super satisfied with the process and the results as well. And in addition to all that, this Christmas trees painting were also pretty quick. It was a fairly quick project. And it's a good way for beginners to practice their watercolor skills and have fun at the same time. So, anyway, I am using a watercolor sketchbook here. It is very important to always use paper that is appropriate for watercolor. So, after these trees dry, I come back again with a little more pigment and I make it darker in one side and lighter on the other. This is something I really like to do in most of my paintings and most of my art because then I can show highlights and shadows. Even though these are not realistic Christmas trees, I still would like to give them some depth and dimension and make them look a little more interesting. But again, this is optional. If you want to leave your Christmas tree flat, that's okay too. They will be looking a little more like a folk style Christmas trees, which are very beautiful as well. So, as I mentioned before, um, in the description of this video, I'm going to list all the supplies I used today. But just so you know, the watercolor paint that I'm using here is called Fine Touch. This is a very affordable brand from Hobby Lobby, which is the arts and craft store. But anyway, I'm not using an expensive high-end watercolor brand. This is a very affordable brand and I think it works great. It has enough pigment to make these Christmas trees look good. As far as the brushes, I prefer to use round brushes for watercolor. They work very well for watercolor paint. And by the way, these brushes are specific for watercolor. And I will leave the size of the brushes in the description as well. Try to use brushes that are not too small and not too big, something in between. And of course, as I said before, it is important that the paper is watercolor paper. I would not use mixed media paper or other types of papers for a watercolor project like this one because it has a lot of water in it. I always prefer to use watercolor paper and ideally, when possible, a good quality paper. As you can see here, I put tape on the edges of the page with this washi tape, but it was really not necessary because I am not painting the whole page. Well, at some point I am going to paint some snow on the ground with metallic paint, but the washi tape was really not essential here for this project. So if you don't want, you don't need to use that. also want to remind you that it's important to allow time for your paper to dry in between paintings. I am leaving notes in the video of the drying times. Um, in this project, I am only going to let it dry for maybe about half an hour or even less. You can also use a hair dryer or a heating gun, but I didn't use these today. So I know that waiting for half an hour for the paint to dry sounds like a long time. What I usually do in this case is I just start working on another project. Sometimes I'll go do something else, like I go get some coffee or I go do some laundry. But most of the time, I just start a second project while the first one dries, so I can double the fun. I really hope this Christmas trees painting video inspires you to create something that brings you joy, because this is my main goal with my channel. I really just want to share my art projects so they can inspire you and make you want to start painting or drawing or coloring and having fun on your own art journey. When the blue paint dried, I started using a watercolor brush pen for some touch-ups. I hope you are enjoying this video, and if you do, please hit the like button. If you like to watch videos like this one with a step-by-step process, please let me know in the comments. It is always helpful for me to hear a little bit of feedback, so then I know what kind of video formats are more useful for you. Okay, so here is the final result. You saw me here in the end using a Jelly Roll white pen for a few more decorations, and our blue Christmas trees are all done. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, I think you're also going to like the next video coming up. I'll see you again soon. Until then, keep creating. Bye bye.